Hello, my dear friend. Let me ask you something that no one else dares to. Have you been living with pain so long? You've forgotten what it feels like to be comfortable? I'm talking about the daily aches, the stiff knees, the tight chest, the swollen joints, the things we silently accept once we pass 60. We call it aging. We call it life. But what if it's not? What if the pain is just your body's way of saying, help me differently, help me naturally? Today, I'm sharing a remedy that's been passed down for generations, simple, gentle, and incredibly powerful. Castor oil and garlic. Two kitchen staples that, when combined the right way, can soothe inflammation, ease pain, and restore breath and movement in just 7 days. And stay with me, because what happens around day 5? It's the moment most people realize they've been treating pain the wrong way for years. If you've ever thought, there must be a better way, go ahead and comment, "I'm ready," below, because this video might just be the turning point. The oil that reaches deeper. Have you ever applied a cream or rub to a sore spot? Your knee, your shoulder, your lower back, and waited for relief that never quite came? That's because most topical treatments only sit on the surface. They feel good for a moment, but they rarely go where they're truly needed. They can't reach deep enough to affect what's really going on. But castor oil is different. It's been used for centuries, not as a quick fix, but as a deep-acting remedy. What makes castor oil so remarkable is its molecular structure. It's dense and thick, but not in a way that blocks or clogs. Instead, it acts like a carrier, drawing healing compounds beneath the skin's surface into muscles, connective tissue, and joints where real inflammation lives. When applied with care, castor oil seeps into the deeper layers of your tissue. And once it's there, it begins working slowly but steadily. It softens stiff tissue, reduces localized inflammation, and helps the body let go of what it's been holding: tension, swelling, even scar tissue that's hardened over time. This is why so many people describe a sense of warmth spreading through the area, a subtle easing, like the body finally exhaling after years of holding tight. But that's not all. Castor oil also helps support the lymphatic system, which is one of the body's main detoxification channels. As we age, our lymph flow can become sluggish, contributing to swelling in the legs, puffiness, or a general feeling of heaviness. By improving circulation and drainage, castor oil gives the body a gentle push toward balance. It's not just soothing, it's supporting the systems that keep us feeling light, mobile, and well. You don't need fancy tools or expensive treatments, just a cloth, a teaspoon of oil, and a bit of patience. Of course, castor oil is powerful on its own, but when it's combined with something even more potent, the effect becomes truly transformative, and that's where garlic comes in. Yes, garlic, the same ingredient you might use in a stir-fry or rub on toast. When used properly, it doesn't just add flavor to food. It amplifies healing in the body, boosts immunity, and tackles infection from the inside out. In the next section, I'll show you how garlic, when paired with castor oil, becomes a tool for real, restorative change. Not just pain relief, but deeper healing. Let's keep going. Garlic. Nature's silent strength. Let's take a moment to rethink something you've probably walked past 100 times at the grocery store. Garlic. Most of us know it as a flavor booster, a kitchen essential, something that brings life to soups and stews. But garlic's real strength? It doesn't lie in taste. It lies in what it can do beneath the surface. For generations, healers and grandmothers alike have turned to garlic as a natural remedy. But modern science is now catching up. And what it's revealing is remarkable. Inside each clove of garlic is a compound called allicin. It's released when you crush or chop the garlic, and it's one of the most powerful natural antimicrobials we know of. Studies have shown that allicin can fight off bacteria, viruses, and fungi, sometimes even better than over-the-counter antibiotics. That's not folklore. That's data. But here's what most people don't realize. When garlic is applied gently to the skin, not swallowed, not cooked down, it still works. It can reduce inflammation, calm irritated nerves, and even help break up stubborn mucus in the chest or sinuses. Think about that. One of the most affordable, accessible ingredients in your kitchen can help your body clear infections, breathe easier, and move with less discomfort if you know how to use it properly. There's a woman I spoke with not long ago who had struggled with sinus infections for years. She started applying garlic compresses mixed with a little oil once every evening. Within 5 days, she said the pressure in her face had lifted. No antibiotics, no sprays, just a small, natural shift in her routine. But like all powerful tools, garlic needs a guide. Used raw, it can irritate sensitive skin. That's where castor oil enters the picture. Castor oil becomes the gentle carrier, pulling garlic's active compounds into deeper tissues while protecting the skin from burning or dryness. This combination is more than convenient. It's strategic. One ingredient soothes, while the other heals. One carries, while the other confronts the problem head-on. So if you've ever looked at garlic as just a spice, look again. It might just be the quiet strength your body has been waiting for. Up next, I'll show you exactly how to combine garlic with castor oil, safely, easily, and effectively, so you can start feeling the difference in just a few days. Healing doesn't have to be loud. Sometimes it begins with something simple and something you already have: the 2-ingredient healing compress. Let's slow things down a bit. You've heard what castor oil can do. You've felt the strength behind garlic. Now let's bring them together into a simple healing routine that feels more like self-care than medicine. You don't need fancy tools. You don't need a big budget. Everything you need is probably already in your kitchen drawer or bathroom cabinet. Here's what to gather: a small piece of soft cotton cloth, something breathable and gentle. A cut-up pillowcase, an old t-shirt, or even gauze will do just fine. Then, a teaspoon of castor oil. You'll know it by its golden color and thick texture. It's slow-moving, just like the healing it offers. Steady and deep. Now, take half of a garlic clove. Fresh is best. And finely grate it. Just enough to activate the natural oils. Garlic doesn't need to shout to be powerful. Even a whisper of it carries healing strength. Mix the grated garlic into the castor oil. Gently stir it on a spoon or directly on the cloth. Let it sit for a moment as the ingredients begin to blend. This is when nature starts preparing your medicine. Next, place the cloth over the area you want to treat. Maybe it's your knee that aches when you stand. Maybe it's your lower back after a long day. Or your chest, when breathing feels just a little too tight. Lay the cloth so the mixture faces your skin. Then cover it with plastic wrap to prevent staining, and gently wrap it with a towel or soft scarf to hold it in place. You don't have to sit still the whole time, but you might find you want to. Now let your body do the rest. Let the warmth of the castor oil seep in. Let the garlic begin its quiet work beneath the surface. You might feel a tingle, a soft heat, a lightness spreading slowly under the skin. Leave it on for 1 to 2 hours, or wear it overnight if you're comfortable. The longer it stays, the more it gives. Just be sure to protect your bedding. It's healing oil, but it loves to linger. When you're done, fold the cloth and store it in a clean zip-top bag in the fridge. You can reuse it for several days, adding a touch of fresh oil and garlic each time. This isn't just a remedy, it's a conversation with your body, a reminder that you still care, that you're still paying attention. And maybe, for the first time in a while, your body will feel that and respond. So go ahead. Create your first compress tonight. Just you, 2 ingredients, and a quiet act of healing. In the next part, I'll share what happens when you do this for 7 days straight, and how small changes can lead to truly powerful results. 7 days, 3 transformations. Sometimes all it takes is 1 small change, and 7 quiet days. Let me take you into the real lives of 3 people, just like you, who decided to stop waiting for things to get worse and tried something different. First, there's Elaine. She's 68, former school librarian, soft-spoken, thoughtful. For years, she battled stiffness in her fingers. Typing emails became slow. Turning keys indoors became a struggle. On the second day of trying the compress, she felt a warmth she hadn't felt in years. By day 5, she could braid her granddaughter's hair without pain. That moment, small to others, was everything to her. She told me, it wasn't just the relief. It was realizing I hadn't lost that part of myself. Then we have George, 74, a retired trucker who used to drive coast to coast. His issue? Chronic back pain that came from decades behind the wheel. He started using the compress on his lower back every evening after dinner. By the 3rd night, he noticed he didn't groan when getting up from the recliner. By day 7, he walked to the end of the driveway and back, twice, without stopping. When I spoke to him, he said, "It wasn't magic. It was momentum, like my body remembered how to move again." And finally, there's Rosa. 63, vibrant, still working part-time at the community center. But every month, she suffered from bloating and sluggish digestion. She'd skip meals, avoid family dinners, just to prevent the discomfort. She used the compress over her abdomen each night. After the first 2 uses, she wasn't convinced. But by day 4, she woke up feeling lighter, more regular, less tense. By day 7, she sat down to Sunday lunch with her entire family and didn't think once about her stomach. She said, "I felt present again, not distracted by discomfort, just me." These aren't stories pulled from miracle cures or overnight transformations. These are real people creating quiet change, one evening at a time. And what they all had in common wasn't luck. It was willingness. They didn't wait for someone else to fix it. They didn't push it aside as just part of getting older. They gave themselves permission to heal. Not perfectly, not instantly, but gradually, gently, honestly. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly does this remedy help with? Up next, I'll break down 5 of the most common issues people are using this blend for. Some may surprise you, and one of them might just be yours. Stay with me. What it actually helps with. By now, you've learned how to prepare the castor oil and garlic compress, and maybe you're starting to imagine using it on that sore knee, that stiff back, or that lingering ache you've quietly lived with for years. But let's take a moment to understand what this remedy actually supports. Because when you know what's possible, you're more likely to stay consistent. And consistency is where the healing begins. Let's start with something many of us are all too familiar with: arthritis. Whether it's the fingers that struggle to grip a mug in the morning or knees that groan with every step down the stairs, joint pain can chip away at the joy of simple movement. The castor oil in this blend acts like a natural anti-inflammatory, easing pressure around the joint. Garlic brings in antimicrobial and circulatory support. Together, they help reduce swelling and encourage smoother, more comfortable motion. Many people say the stiffness softens by day 4 or 5. Not gone, but lighter, more manageable. Next up, respiratory congestion and lingering coughs. Maybe it's from past infections, maybe it's just seasonal, but that heaviness in the chest, the shallow breaths, the nighttime coughing, that's not something you need to live with. When applied to the chest, this warm compress helps loosen thick mucus and soothe inflammation in the airways. Garlic has been shown to act as a natural bronchodilator, and castor oil carries it deep. Some seniors have told me they woke up able to breathe more clearly after just 2 nights of use. No inhalers, no medications, just breath returning 1 layer at a time. What about digestion? If you often feel bloated, sluggish, or backed up, especially in the evenings, this remedy can be surprisingly helpful. Castor oil has been used traditionally to support liver function and gentle detoxification. When applied over the abdomen, it stimulates circulation in the gut and encourages smoother movement. Garlic adds an antibacterial effect, helping rebalance the microbiome. One woman I spoke with shared that she'd struggled with constipation for years, and by the end of the first week using the compress, she felt lighter, flatter, and more in tune with her body's natural rhythm. Let's talk about skin, because aging skin tells a story. But when that story includes eczema, irritation, or dry patches that just won't go away, it can affect more than just how we look. It impacts how we feel. Castor oil is one of the richest, most moisturizing oils for mature skin. And garlic, when used gently, can help calm flare-ups. Applied sparingly, this blend soothes redness, reduces itchiness, and encourages skin to heal from underneath. It's not about covering flaws, it's about restoring comfort. Finally, long-standing issues like fibroids or ovarian cysts. No, this is not a miracle cure. But when used regularly over the lower abdomen, many women have found that this compress eases discomfort, reduces bloating, and in some cases supports hormonal balance over time. It's not an overnight fix, but it is a quiet invitation for the body to shift, to soften, and to heal. With time and care. So whether you're using this blend for joints, lungs, digestion, skin, or internal discomfort, remember this: healing doesn't always happen in a hospital. Sometimes it happens in your living room, with a soft cloth, a bit of warmth, and the courage to care for yourself, gently, patiently, and fully. Up next, we'll cover how to use this blend safely. Because true healing always honors both your body and your peace of mind. Before you try it, 6 safety rules. Let me tell you about a woman named Marjorie. She's 74, full of wisdom, and one of the most curious people I've ever met. When she heard about the garlic and castor oil compress, she dove in head first, grated garlic, soaked the cloth, pressed it right onto her skin. Within 15 minutes, her skin was red and stinging. Not because the remedy was wrong, but because the method was. So, let me help you avoid that mistake. Here are 6 things, Marjorie, and now you should always remember. First, garlic is powerful. That's why we use it. But raw garlic can burn sensitive skin if used without dilution. Always mix it into castor oil first, and never apply it directly. Second, use a cloth as your barrier. That old flannel shirt you've been meaning to repurpose? Perfect. Lay it between your skin and the blend. This slows down the absorption and makes the process gentle, not shocking. Third, don't guess, test. Try the blend first on a small patch of your inner arm. Wait a few hours. If it's calm, you're good to go. Fourth, this remedy is for external use only. Castor oil, taken by mouth without direction from a doctor, can lead to digestive upset. Garlic, too, in large raw amounts, is potent and should be consumed thoughtfully. Fifth, keep it clean. Always use fresh materials, especially if you're storing your cloth for reuse. Wipe your hands, seal it in a bag, and pop it in the fridge between uses. Sixth, trust your body's response. If something doesn't feel right, stop. Take a break. Healing should feel like a partnership, not a punishment. Because here's the truth. Natural doesn't mean casual. It means respectful. And when we treat our body and the remedy with care, they often respond with grace. But this story isn't just about compresses and caution. It's about what happens when you finally give your body what it's been quietly asking for. What this remedy really gave me. I didn't expect it to change me. I thought I was just trying something new for my knee pain. One more thing in the long line of ointments, stretches, and pills I've tried over the years. But what I didn't realize is that this simple blend gave me something I hadn't felt in a long time. Ownership over my body again. The first night I applied it, I didn't sleep better right away. But I noticed something different. I paused. I slowed down. I paid attention. There was something sacred about preparing the cloth, gently warming the oil, grating just enough garlic. It wasn't just healing. It was presence. By the third night, the stiffness started to soften. By the fifth, I wasn't bracing myself when I got out of bed. But what moved me most wasn't the physical relief. It was the emotional one. I realized that for years, I had been quietly giving up. This is just how it is now, I'd say when my back ached. It's part of getting old, I'd mutter when the stairs became harder. But this blend, this practice, it reminded me that my body still responds, still heals, still matters. I didn't just feel better, I felt connected again. It reminded me that health is not a finish line. It's not about being fixed. It's about showing up for yourself. Choosing something gentle, something natural, something that says, I believe in you. That's what this remedy gave me. Not perfection, but participation. Not a miracle, but movement. And for the first time in a long time, I didn't feel like I was fighting my body. I was finally working with it. So if you're wondering whether this is just another home remedy, I'll say this. It may be simple, but what it unlocks might just surprise you. Healing starts when you decide to begin. This isn't about quick fixes or chasing youth. It's about remembering that your body still listens and still responds with care. Maybe you've carried pain for so long, it feels like part of who you are. But it doesn't have to be. When you give your body something gentle, something honest, like this natural blend of castor oil and garlic, you're not just easing symptoms. You're sending yourself a message. I deserve relief. I deserve comfort. I deserve peace. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to begin. So if you're ready to try something simple, something powerful, comment "I'm ready" below. If this spoke to you, give it a like and subscribe for more remedies that meet you where you are. Because healing doesn't happen in the past. It begins the moment you choose to believe again.